Hello students, today we are continuing one more method of temporary contraception, that is nothing but the steroidal contraceptions. Yes, steroidal contraception. As the name itself suggests, steroidal contraception means here we are using the steroids, especially the steroidal hormones, steroidal female hormones to prevent the pregnancy. So it comes under the temporary methods of contraception itself. So the steroidal contraception can be grouped into three main classifications. One is the oral, the way how we are giving the steroids or hormones inside the body. Depending on its route of administration, the steroidal contraception can be classified into three main types, that is the oral. First is the oral contraception, parenteral contraception, and devices. So in the oral contraception, again, depending on the preparation, it is divided into combined preparations and single preparations, that is combined contraception pills. This includes monophasic, biphasic, triphasic, and emergency, which is also called as a post-coital. In the single preparations, it includes progesterone only pill, it is also called as a mini pill, or estrogen only, that is an emergency pill. And coming to the parenteral means when we are giving the medicines other than the oral route is called as a parenteral, that is in the injectable forms or in the implant forms. Here injectables like DMPA, NET, EN combined, that is once a month injections are available, and in the Implanon, Norplant 11, LNG rod are available. Coming to the devices, here these are the devices which contains the hormones. So like IUD, LNG IUS system, vaginal ring, LNG ring, combined estrogen and progesterone ring, transdermal patches which contains nestorenone. So these are the different types of steroidal contraception. So we'll study one by one detail. So coming to first the combined oral contraceptive pills or combined OC pills. The combined oral contraceptive is the most effective reversible method of contraception. It is a reversible. Why it is called as reversible? Because as soon as whenever the patient stops the tablets or stop taking the pills, then her fertility is regained, you can say. So it is a reversible method. In the combination pills, the commonly used progestins are either levonorgestrone or norethiosterone or desogestrel, and the estrogens are principally confined to either ethyl estradiol or menstruanol. So these are the estrogens which are used, ethyl estradiol or menstruanol, and commonly used progestins are levonorgestrone, norethiosterone or desogestrel. So currently lipid friendly third generations progestins, namely desogestrel, gestodin, norgestamine are also available. So some of the preparations available in the market are mentioned in the table. Only Mala N is contributed through government channel free of the cost. And fourth generation includes drosperinone. Drosperinone, which is an analog of spironolactone, is used as a progestin. The benefit of drosperinone is it has anti-androgenic and anti-mineralocorticosteroid action. It causes retention of potassium. So here is a chart of showing the oral contraceptives and their composition. So first commercial names are like Mala D, Mala N, Loetel, Yasmin, etc. The Mala N, these are supplied by the government of India. It contains how much quantity of progesterone estrogen is mentioned. It contains levonorgestrone 0.15 and ethyl estradiol 30 microgram. Number of tablets is 21 plus 7 iron tablets, and another is Mala D, levonorgestrone 0.15 and ethyl estradiol 30, 21 plus 7 iron tablets same. And Loete is desogestrel third generation, it is 0.15 and ethyl estradiol 20 microgram. It contains only 21 tablets. Here iron tablets are not added. And another one is Yasmin. It contains drosperinone 3 mg and ethyl estradiol 30, and the number of tablets are 21. So these are first generation, second generation, third generation. So these depending on the amount of ethyl estradiol and the types of progestin used, pills are defined as first, second, third and fourth generation. First generation with ethyl estradiol quantity 50 microgram or more is called as first generation. Second generation ethyl estradiol quantity is in between 20 to 35 microgram, and progesterone as levonorgestrone or norgestimide. And third generation with E20 30 E, that is estrogen 20 to 30 microgram, and progesterone as desogestrel or gestodine. And fourth generation means when the estrogen is used as a third generation estrogen along with the progesterone as drosperinone, dienogest or normogestrel. Low dose pills have estrogen less than 50 micrograms. So these are the commonly used oral contraceptive pills which are available in the India. Coming to its mode of action, the probable action of the mechanism of contraception is, first one method is by inhibition of ovulation. These oral contraceptive pills, they inhibit the HPO axis. The release of gonadotropin releasing hormone GnRH from the hypothalamus is prevented through a negative feedback mechanism. Therefore, thus there is no release of FSH and LH from the anterior pituitary, so no follicular growth is achieved or initiated. That's why there are chances of inhibition of ovulation. Another method is by producing endometrial hypoplasia starting. So they produces stromal edema, decidual reaction, regression of the glands, making endometrium non-receptive to the embryo. And third method is with the help of alteration in the cervical mucus characteristics. So they make the cervical mucus such a thick, viscid and scanty that it prevents sperm penetration. And another one more mechanism is it interferes with the tubal motility and alters the tubal transport. Thus, even though the accidental breakthrough ovulation occurs, the other mechanism also prevents the conception. Estrogen inhibits FSH rise and prevents. Why the combination pills, how it acts is the estrogen, it inhibits FSH rise and it prevents follicular growth. It is also useful for better cycle control and to prevent breakthrough bleeding. Whereas progesterone, anovulatory effect is primarily by inhibiting the LH surge. So when progesterones are there, the LH surge will not occur. So it also helpful to counteract the adverse effect of the estrogen on the endometrium. So it is also responsible for changes in the cervical mucus. So in this way, both the estrogen and progesterone combination pills act. Coming to the selection of patient, how to select the patient for contraceptive pills or steroidal contraceptives? History and general examination should be thorough, taking special care to screen cases of contraindications like headache, migraine, etc. Examination of the breast for any nodules, weight, blood pressure are to be noted. Pelvic examination to include any cervical pathology is compulsory, and pregnancy should be excluded, yes, of course. Cervical cytology to exclude any abnormal cells is to be done with the help of pap smear, etc. And thus any woman of reproductive age group without any systemic diseases and contraindication listed is a suitable candidate for combined pill therapy. Growth and development of the pubertal and sexually active girls are not affected by the use of the pills. So there, if we are prescribing in the girls who are sexually active, so their growth is not affected by the use of pills. Now on the topic, this is the how to prescribe a pill. How to prescribe, what are the instructions which we can give to the patient? Instruction is, new users should normally start their pill packet on the day 1 of their cycle. So that is on the first day of the cycle they can start the pill. One tablet is to be taken daily, preferably at the bedtime. One tablet at the bedtime for consecutive 21 days, because most of the pills are of 21 days, and 7 tablets which are added contains iron. So it is continued for 21 days and then have a 7 days break. With this routine, there is contraception protection from the first pill. Next packet should be started on the 8th day, irrespective of the bleeding. That is same day of the week the pill finished. So next packet is to be started on the 8th day. Thus, a simple regimen of 3 weeks on and the 1 week off is to be followed. Packing of 28 tablets, there should be no break between the packs. So 7 of the pills are dummies usually, but it will for the convenient of the patient they have added full 28 days because they should not get confused. And either so they other 7 pills are there, no, they are dummies, either they contains irons or vitamin preparations. However, a woman can start the pill up to day 5th of the bleeding. In that case, she is advised to use a condom for the next 7 days, and the pill should be started on the day after the abortion. Following childbirth, in non-lactating women, it is to be started after 3 weeks, and in lactating women, it is to be held for 6 months. because as she is lactating, it gives a protection, natural protection from the pregnancy. Then follow up, the patient should be examined after 3 months, then after 6 months, and then yearly. The patient above the age of 35 should be checked more frequently. At each visit, any adverse symptoms are there to be noted. Examination of the breast, weight, blood pressure, pelvic examination, cervical cytology are to be done and compared with the previous records. So if she missed the pills, then it should be advised to take the pills as soon as she remembers. So this is a table showing the medical eligibility criteria for contraceptive users, combined OC pills, indications and contraindications they have given here. Indications: no restrictions of use, WHO category 1, that is the age of menarche to 40 years. There are no restrictions to use. Post-abortion, anemia, HIV or AIDS, GTN following a normal SEG level, history of ectopic pregnancy, endometriosis, uterine fibroid, ovarian, cervical, endometrial cancer, dysmenorrhea, DUB, PID, epilepsy, thyroid diseases, varicose vein, tuberculosis, and benign breast diseases. In them, these are considered as no restrictions of use categories. Whereas other is relative. WHO category 2 and 3. WHO category 2 includes the advantages outweighs the risk. Means there are risks also, but advantages is more than, like age is more than or equal to 40 years, smokers less than 35 years, history of jaundice, mild hypertension, gallbladder diseases, diabetes, sickle cell disease, headache, cancer, cervix, and CIM. WHO category 3 is risk overweights the advantages includes unexplained vaginal bleeding, hyperlipidemia, liver tumors, breastfeeding, heavy smokers, and past breast cancer. So absolute WHO category 4 includes, see this is considered as absolute or WHO category 4. Circulatory diseases: if the woman is having past or present any circulatory diseases like severe hypertension, arterial or venous thrombosis, history of stroke, heart diseases, ischemia, diabetes, vascular complication, migraine with focal neurological symptoms, diseases of liver, if she is having any active liver disease, liver adenoma, carcinoma, others like pregnancy, breastfeeding, postpartum 6 weeks, major surgery or prolonged immobilization, estrogen dependent neoplasm, breast cancer, etc. So these are the absolute category of contraindications, WHO category 4. So this is a diagram showing the Mala iron is a government supply. It contains levonorgestrone and ethynyl estradiol tablets with ferrous fumarate iron. This is a Maladi. Coming to the benefits of oral contraceptive pill, they include the first of all, they gives a contraceptive benefit, that is a protection against unwanted pregnancy, convenient to use. They are irreversibility is there, improving maternal and child health care. Non-contraceptive benefits includes improvement of menstrual abnormalities, regulation of menstrual cycles, reduction of dysmenorrhea, reduction of menorrhagia, reduction of premenstrual syndrome, reduction of mesenchymal syndromes, which they here also pain will be there. Then protection against iron deficiency anemia, protection against health disorders like pelvic inflammatory disease, ectopic pregnancy, endometriosis, fibroid uterus, hirsutism and acne, functional ovarian cyst, benign breast diseases, osteopenia and postmenopausal osteoporotic fractures, autoimmune disorders of thyroid, rheumatoid arthritis. Prevention of malignancies includes endometrial cancer, epithelial ovarian cancer, and colorectal cancer. Coming to the adverse effects of combined oral contraceptives. Coming to another point, that is adverse effects of combined oral contraceptives. So what are the adverse effects? The minor complications or ailments includes nausea, vomiting, headache, and leg cramps. So they are transient and often subsides following the continuous use for 2 to 3 cycles. So in the beginning, patient may get all these complaints, but within 2 to 3 cycles, these all complaints will get subside. Mastalgia, heaviness, or even tenderness in the breast is often transient. Weight gain, though progestins have got an anabolic effect due to its chemical relation to testosterone, use of low dose OC pills does not cause any increase in the weight. Then cholesma and acne are annoying for cosmetic reasons. Low dose oral contraceptives improves acne as levonorgestrone preparations are less androgenic. Menstrual abnormalities, breakthrough bleeding BTB is commonly due to subthreshold blood levels of hormones. Other causes of breakthrough bleeding is pill takers are disturbances of drug absorption, diarrhea, vomiting, use of enzyme inducing drugs, pregnancy complications, diseases, cervical ectopic carcinoma. Usually it settles after 2 to 3 cycles and there is no other specific cause for BTB. Exogenous estrogens, that is the conjugated estrogen 1.25 mg or estradiol 2 mg is given daily for 7 days, can control the bleeding. Doubling of the active pills for 2 to 3 days or until bleeding stops is helpful. A pill contains higher doses of estrogen with different progesterone could be helpful. BTB is not associated with any increased failure rate. And there is hypomenorrhea. It is a less significant although disturbing to the patient. It is due to the local endometrial changes. Menorrhagia, it is usually pre-existing and use of compounds with progesterones is helpful. Amenorrhea, post-pill amenorrhea of more than 6 months duration occurs in less than 1% of cases. Libido may be diminished probably due to the dryness of the vagina. So leukorrhea, it may be due to excessive cervical mucus secretion or due to increased preponderance of mononarial infections. There are chances of leukorrhea. These are the all minor complications. Coming to the major complications, which includes depression. Low dose estrogen preparations are not associated with depression. Hypertension, yes, current low dose OC pills are rarely causes any significant hypertension. So low dose pills cannot cause hypertension. Pre-existing hypertension is likely to be aggravated. So if already the woman is having hypertension, then there are chances of it is to be aggravated with the use of the pills. Changes are seen only in the systolic but not in the diastolic blood pressure. The effect on the blood pressure is thought to involve the renin-angiotensin system. And the changes, however, reverse back to normal 3 to 6 months after stoppage of the pills. Vascular complications, that is a VTE, venous thromboembolism. The overall risk is to the extent of 3 to 4 times more than the non-users. Pre-existing hypertension, diabetes, obesity, thrombophilias, and the elderly patient and the smoker has more risk. Ethynyl estradiol used with a dose of 20 microgram in the pill markedly reduce the incidence. So if you reduce the dose of estrogen, then we can prevent these vascular changes. Then the high risk factors for myocardial infarction and strokes are hypertension, smoking habit, age over 35, and diabetes. So women with multiple risk factors for cardiovascular disease generally should not be given OC pills. Then cholestatic jaundice, there are chances of cholestatic jaundice. Neoplasia, combined oral contraceptive pills reduces the risk of epithelial ovarian 50% and endometrial 50% carcinoma. The protective effect persists for 10 to 15 years even after stopping the method followed a use of 6 months to 1 year. So here it gives protection. No increased risk of hepatocellular adenomas have been found. Coming to the effects of OC pills on organs, HPO axis, both FSH and LH levels remains low as found in the early proliferative phase and remains throughout the cycle at such a static low levels. Ovaries, ovarian function remains quiescent with occasional evidence of breakthrough ovulation. Endometrium, if the residual reaction and glandular exhaustion out of depletion, endometrial stroma will be there. and cervix, increased glandular hyperplasia and downgrowth of endocervical epithelium beyond the escamocolumnar junctions give the appearance of an ectopy. It looks like cervical ectopy occurred because of the overgrowth of these epithelium. So risk of cervical cancer with OCP use is 1.1. It may be due to the persistence exposure of the pill users to HPV infection, so due to their more sexual activity, so there are chances of HPV infection also, and there are more chances of cervical ectopy, and which may in future leads to and the chances of cervical cancer. Uterus may be slightly enlarged. Low dose OCPs do not usually increase the size of pre-existing fibroid. And vagina, the cytohormonal study reflects the picture of early luteal phase. Liver functions are depressed. Gastrointestine, there is increased incidence of mesenteric vein thrombosis. Urinary, there is increased incidence of UTI, but is probably related to the increase in the sexual activity, not with the OCPs. Effect on reproduction, ovulation returns within 3 months. Ovulation returns within 3 months of withdrawal of the drugs in 90% of the patients. So soon after the stoppage of the hormonal pills, ovulation doesn't return, but it takes minimum 3 months for the ovulation to return after the stoppage of these pills. Risk on fetus, when OCPs is taken during early pregnancy inadvertently, there is no greater risk on the fetus, that is congenital anomalies chances are less, or 2 to 1 to 3%. Lactation is probably affected by the reduction in the milk production and also by alteration of the quality of the milk if we prescribe these things. That's why the mini pill is a better alternative for the breastfeeding mothers. Coming to third is another one is that is the triphasic formulation of combined oral pills. Triphasic means here phase wise there is variation in the content. Okay, so here in this preparation the hormonal doses of each compound vary over the course of the cycle. Minimum doses are provided for contraceptive effect in the early part of the cycle and slightly higher doses later. So in this early part minimum dose is used, and in the later part somewhat higher doses is used. So this is the dose varies according to the course of the cycle. To prevent the breakthrough bleeding, it is an attempt to minimize undesirable side effects on the lipid metabolism also. And here the tricolor pills commonly used are the tricolor tablets. First 6 tablets contain the 0.05 mg levonorgestrone and 30 mg of ethinyl estradiol, and next 5 tablets contain 0.075 mg of levonorgestrone and 40 mg of ethinyl estradiol, and the last 10 tablets contains 0.125 mg of levonorgestrone and 30 mg ethinyl estradiol. It has to be taken like conventional pills only. So this is called as triphasic pills because the content varies in the different phases. Then in the early phase it is less and later phase it is slightly more, so it varies to prevent the adverse effect. Then another is a progestin only pill. It is also called as POP or mini pill. Progestin only pill, POP, is devoid of any estrogen compound. It contains very low dose of a progestin in any one of the following form, that is levonorgestrone 75 microgram, norethisterone 350 microgram, or desogestrel 75 microgram, linesterol 500 mg, or norgestrel 30 microgram. It has to be taken daily from the first day of the cycle. So it is called as progesterone only pills because it contains only progesterone. It is devoid of any estrogen. So mechanism of action, it works mainly by making cervical mucus thick and viscous, thereby prevents sperm penetration. Endometrium becomes atrophic, so blastocyst implantation is also hindered. In about 2% of cases, ovulation is inhibited and 50% women ovulate normally. So here the ovulation occurring normally, but here there is some changes in the cervical mucus, endometrium. So that's the what happens, sperm penetration is prevented and implantation is prevented, but ovulation is occurring in 50% of the patient normally. How to prescribe this mini pill or progesterone only pill is, the first pill has to be taken on the first day of the cycle and then continuously. It has to be taken regularly and at the same time of the day. There must be no break between the packs. Delay in intake for more than 3 hours, the woman should have missed pill immediately and the next one as scheduled. Extra precaution has to be taken for the next 2 days. If she miss a pill, then she has to be taken immediately, and at that time she has to take the extra precaution by the use of condoms, etc. Advantages. What are the advantages of mini pills or progesterone only pills? The side effects attributed to estrogens in the combined pills are totally eliminated. So the side effects because of estrogen is totally eliminated here. No adverse effects on lactation, and hence can be suitably prescribed in lactating women, and as such it is also called as the lactational pill. POP mini pill is also called as a lactational pill because it can be prescribed in lactating women. Easy to take as there is no on and off regimen. So here no on and off regimen, patient has to take it regularly without any break, so it is easy to take. It may be prescribed in patient having medical disorders like hypertension, fibroid, diabetes, epilepsy, smoking, and history of thromboembolism, and it reduces the risk of PID and endometrial cancer. Coming to its disadvantages, there may be acne, mastalgia, headache, breakthrough bleeding, or at times amenorrhea in about 20 to 30% cases. All the side effects attributed to progesterones may be evident. Simple cyst of the ovary may be seen, but does not require any surgery. Failure rate is about 0.25 to 2 per 100 women's years of use. Failure is more in young compared to the women over 40. Women using drugs that induce liver microsomal enzymes to alter metabolism should avoid this method of contraception. Contraindications of mini pills are pregnancy, unexplained vaginal bleeding, recent breast cancer, arterial diseases, and thromboembolic diseases. So this is all about mini pill, progesterone only pill, or the lactational pill. Second method is injectable progesterones. Yes, injectable progesterones. The preparations commonly used are DMPA, dipomedroxyprogesterone acetate, or NETEN, that is norethestérone enanthate. So both are administered intramuscularly, that is into the deltoid or gluteus muscle, within 5 days of the cycle. So within 5 days of the cycle, this injectable progesterone is to be injected. The injection should be deep, Z-rack technique, and the site not to be massaged. So Z-rack is a technique where we have to pull the skin and the subcutaneous tissue, so that and the needle is to be inserted deep inside the muscle, thus preventing the leakage of the drug into the subcutaneous tissue. So in this way the needle goes just like a zigzag way deep into the muscles, so thus preventing the leakage of the fluid or the hormones in the other tissues like skin and all. And after the site, it should, after giving the injection, after removing the needle, it should not be massaged. So this is called as a Z-rack technique, and the site not to be massaged. DMPA in a dose of 150 mg every 3 months. WHO recommends it is to be given every 4 months, or 300 mg every 6 months. So DMPA is available in 2 doses. One is 150 mg, which should be given every 3 to 4 months once, and 300 mg it should be given every 6 months once. So 6 months, 3 months injections are available. NETEN in a dose of 200 mg given at a 2 monthly interval. So 2 monthly, 3 monthly, and 6 monthly injections are there for progesterones. Depot sub Q Provera 104 contains 104 mg of DMPA. It is given subcutaneously over the anterior thigh or the abdomen. It suppresses ovulation for 3 months as it is absorbed more slowly. Coming to its mechanism of action, inhibition of ovulation by suppressing the mid-cycle LS surge. Cervical mucus becomes thick, viscid, thereby preventing the sperm penetration. Endometrium is atrophic, preventing the blastocyst implantation. Coming to its advantages, it eliminates regular medication as imposed by the oral pill. It can be used safely during the lactation. It probably increases the milk secretion without altering its composition, and no estrogen related side effects are seen because it contains only progesterone. Menstrual symptoms, that is the menorrhagia, dysmenorrhea are reduced. effective against the cervical cancer, can be used as an interim contraception before vasectomy becomes effective. It gives reduction in the PID, endometriosis, ectopic pregnancy, and ovarian cancer. The non-contraceptive benefits includes it reduces the risk of salpingitis, endometrial cancer, iron deficiency anemia, sickle cell problems, and endometriosis. Disadvantages: failure rate of DMPA is 0 to 0.3, and there is a chance of irregular bleeding and occasional phase of amenorrhea. Return of the fertility is after the discontinuation is usually delayed for several months, that is 4 to 8 months. Overweight, the obesity chances are there. Other side effects are weight gain and headache. Contraindication: women with high risk factors for osteoporosis and others are same as that of POPs. So next method is implant. It is a Implanon. Here, see here, you can see the implant rod, single implant rod, Implanon. In this diagram you can see the Implanon. This is an implant. So Implanon is a progestin only delivery system. It containing 3-ketodesogestrel. It is a long-term, up to 3 years, reversible contraception. It consists of a single closed capsule made up of polydimethyl siloxane 40 mm into 2 mm, and it contains 68 mg of etonorgestrel (ENG). It releases the hormone about 60 mcg, gradually reduced to 30 mcg per day over 3 years. Implanon does not cause decrease in the bone mineral density. Mechanism of its action: it inhibits ovulation in 90% of cases for the first year. It has got its supplementary effect on endometrium, that is, it causes atrophy of endometrium and cervical mucus become thick as well. Insertion: the capsule is inserted subdermally in the inner aspect of the non-dominant arm, 6 to 8 cm above the elbow fold. It is inserted between the biceps and the triceps muscle. And a preloaded sterile applicator is also available. No incision is required. See here, no incision is required. Directly we can insert the implant on. Preloaded sterile applicator is there. Removal is done by making a 2 mm incision at the tip of the implant and pushing the rod until it pops off. It is done under local anesthesia. It is ideally inserted within day 5 of a menstrual cycle, immediately after abortion and 3 weeks after postpartum. Removal: Implanon should be removed within 3 years of its insertion, so its shelf life is 3 years. Loss of contraceptive action is immediate. Advantages are the same as that with DMPA. Others are highly effective for long-term use and rapidly reversible, suitable for women who have completed their family but do not desire permanent sterilization. Efficacy of Implanon is extremely high, that is 0.01 per indices. The safe and effective method is considered as reversible sterilization. Because it is very safe and effective, that's why it is considered as reversible sterilization. Drawbacks: frequent irregular menstrual bleeding, spotting and amenorrhea are common. Difficulty in removal is felt occasionally. Contraindications are similar to that of progesterone only pills. Implant 2 or JADLA is 2 rods of 4 cm long with diameter of 2.55 is also used. Each rod contains 75 mg of levonorgestrel. It releases 50 mcg of levonorgestrel per day. Contraceptive efficacy is similar to that of combined pills. Failure rate is 0.06 per 100 women years. It is used for 3 years. The rods are easier to insert and to remove. Another is, in the last point in the steroidal contraception, is emergency contraception, EC, or postcoital contraception. Emergency contraception or the postcoital contraception, because these are used after the coital act of coitus. These includes hormones, antiprogesterone, IUDs, and others. Indications of emergency contraception: unprotected intercourse. First indication is unprotected intercourse. Second is condom rupture. Sometimes condom rupture occurs. Missed pills, delay in taking POP for more than 3 hours, sexual assault or rape. First time intercourse, as known to be always unplanned. Risk of pregnancy following a single act of unprotected coitus around the time of ovulation is about 8%. Coming to first method, that is with the help of hormones, morning after pills. This is not a true contraception but has rightly been called interception. This is not a contraception, it is called as interception because it preventing the conception in case of accidental unprotected exposure around the time of ovulation. So drugs, that's why it is called as interception. Drugs commonly used are levonorgestrel, ethynyl estradiol 2.5 mg. The drug is taken orally twice daily for 5 days, beginning soon after the exposure but not later than the 72 hours. Levonorgestrel or e-pills 0.75 mg, 2 doses given at 12 hours interval is very successful and without any side effects. The 2 tablets 1.50 mg can be taken as a single dose. So here is a table showing all the drugs of emergency contraceptives like levonorgestrel dose is 0.75 mg start and after 12 hours. So 2 tablets is to be taken start as soon as possible and another one is after the 12 hours gap. Ethynyl estradiol 50 microgram and norgestrel 0.25 mg. 2 tablets starts and 2 after 12 hours. Ethynyl estradiol 2.5 mg BD for 5 days. Mifepristone 100 mg single dose is enough. Copper IUDs, which are considered as a gold standard, insertion within the 5 days is advisable. And ulipristal acetate is 30 mg per oral. So the first dose should be taken within 72 hours. So here is a pill called as the e-pills or levonorgestrel pills, emergency contraceptive pills. No fetal adverse effect has been observed when there is a failure of emergency contraception. So this is a benefit of it, that if suppose the pregnancy occurs with the failure of the emergency contraceptive pills, then no fetal adverse effect is observed. However, induced abortion should be offered to the patient if the methods fails. Mode of action, here the possibilities are ovulation is either prevented or delayed when the drug is taken in the beginning of the cycle. Fertilization is interfered. Implantation is prevented as the endometrium is rendered unfavorable. Interferes with the function of corpus luteum and may causes luteolysis. Drawbacks, nausea, vomitings as such will be there. Copper IUDs, introduction of a copper IUCD within a maximum period of 5 days can prevent conception following accidental unprotected exposure. This prevents implantation. Failure rate is about 0 to 1%. It is a gold standard method to be open to all women for EC, that is the emergency contraception. So gold standard method of emergency contraception is copper IUCDs. Postcoital contraception is only employed as an emergency measure and is not effective if used as a regular method of contraception. Yes, another method is with the help of combined hormonal regimen, that is USPA method is equally effective. Here 2 tablets of overall, that is 0.25 mg levonorgestrel and 50 microgram of ethynyl estradiol it contains. So 2 tablets of overall should be taken as early as possible after coitus, that is less than 72 hours, and 2 more tablets are to be taken 12 hours later. Oral antiemetics may be taken 1 hour before each dose to reduce the problem of nausea and vomiting. So this is about combined hormonal emergency pills. Antiprogesterone RU 486 mifepristone binds competitively to progesterone receptors and nullifies the effect of endogenous progesterone. So the dose is a single dose of 100 mg is to be taken within 17 days of intercourse. So mifepristone, if you are prescribing antiprogesterone, then a single dose of 100 mg is enough within 17 days of intercourse. Implantation is prevented due to its antiprogesterone effect. Pregnancy rate is 0.6%. Ulipristal acetate is an effective as an emergency contraceptive as levonorgestrel. A single dose of 30 mg to be taken orally as soon as possible or within 12 hours of coitus. It acts by suppressing the follicular and endometrial growth. It delays ovulation, inhibits implantation. It should not be prescribed in women with severe hepatic dysfunction nor with the severe asthma. So in asthma and liver problem it is contraindicated. So coming to the summary of oral contraceptive pills, so we have seen here the combined pills, emergency contraceptive or postcoital pills, triphasic pills and the mini pills. So this completes the steroidal hormone contraceptions and the temporary methods of contraception. So in the next class we will see about the permanent method of contraception or sterilization in the next class. Thank you.